Welcome to the League of Nerds comic book segment number 105. I'm John Cooney here to talk to you about comics released the 29th of January, 2014, beginning as usual with my first five, meaning these are the first 5 books I intend to read this week, and I'll give you a little more depth on them, starting with at number 1, Saga number 18. Our hero's stay on Quietus reaches its inevitable conclusion. Series writer Brian K. Vaughan spoke about the evolution of the story, quote, "Our family is still on pretty much the same course I plotted for them at the beginning, but there will be at least one important addition to the main cast coming next arc that would never have happened without Fiona. She's the all-time greatest." Close quote. As for the next arc, number 19 comes out after a 3-month hiatus, and Vaughn says, quote, "I don't want to say anything about number 18 yet, but the 6 issues after it are going to be very, very different from anything that's come before. It's a story about money, among other subjects that terrify new parents." Close quote. And of 19 in particular, he says, quote, "We're already hard at work on number 19, and it's a doozy. You're either going to think it was totally worth the wait or cancel your pull list subscription on Impact." Close quote. At number 2, we've got Guardians of the Galaxy number 11 Point Now, The Trial of Jean Grey. The Guardians of the Galaxy get a reminder of Earth when they cross paths with the all-new X-Men during the trial of Jean Grey. When an alien race discovers that the original Jean Grey is back on Earth, they decide to hold her accountable for the acts of the Dark Phoenix, and it's up to the Guardians to help the X-Men save her. You won't want to miss the first encounter between 2 of the biggest franchises in the Marvel U. Series writer Brian Michael Bendis explains the state of the team following Infinity. Quote, "They're pretty much intact except for the fact that there's something from the outcome of Infinity that the Guardians are very uncomfortable with. While the members deal with that and each other, they receive word that Jean Grey is a target, and they rush to help." Close quote. He went on to say, quote, "And not all the Guardians are going to have the same feeling about Jean Grey and the Phoenix. She is and will always be a very polarizing figure in the Marvel Universe. This trial will put the spotlight right on that." Close quote. At number 3, we've got Superior Spider-Man number 26, Goblin Nation Prelude. The stage is set for the biggest Superior Spider-Man story of them all, and it starts here with a goblin fight like no other, the Green Goblin versus the original Hobgoblin. Plus that thing that happened at the end of number 25, that thing that raised all of those questions. You don't want to have to wait any longer. You'll get answers this issue, honest. Series writer Dan Slott described this issue, quote, "Issue number 26 is a prelude to Goblin Nation where 2 major Spider-Man universe characters have a throwdown. Developments will also occur between Spider-Man and the Avengers." Close quote. He also said that this issue would answer questions from the Spider-Man 2099 story. Quote, "There will be many, many questions that fans will want answered. Issue number 26 will answer many of those questions. When you hit issue number 26, you'll go, oh. Knowing the answer, though, doesn't mean things get better. You'll see where all the cards are on the table and you'll go, oh my god, we're heading toward Goblin Nation." Close quote. At number 4, we've got Invincible number 108. Angstrom Levy's life hangs in the balance. Invincible to the rescue? In the text that accompanies the preview artwork for this issue, it said, quote, "Changes nothing if not constant for Image Comics' long-running Invincible, but Robert Kirkman and Ryan Ottley are gearing up for major changes." Close quote. And at the recent Image Expo in San Francisco earlier in January, series writer Robert Kirkman says he's happy with how the series has progressed, but that he genuinely thinks the best is yet to come. Quote, "Hopefully that's the case. If not, tell Ryan Ottley. Go upset him." Close quote. At number 5 from Dark Horse, we've got Serenity Leaves on the Wind number 1 of 6. Malcolm Reynolds' crew shook the verse to its core when they laid bare the crimes against humanity undertaken by their sinister government, the Alliance. Always outlaws, Mal, a very pregnant Zoe, new pilot River Tam, and the other surviving crew members are in greater danger than ever. Meanwhile, everyone is asking the same question. Series writer Zach Whedon explained the setting for the series, the first to take place after the film. Quote, "It has been around 9 months since the conclusion of Serenity. A lot has changed and a lot has stayed the same. The discovery that Mal and his crew shared with the verse, that the inhabitants of the planet Miranda were killed or driven mad by an Alliance experiment, has opened some eyes and created some new allies, but it hasn't deterred any of their pursuers. If anything, it's made them more relentless. Serenity is hiding out in lesser-known corners of the verse, trying to keep a low profile. As you'll see early on, that's easier said than done. Mal and his crew will be forced to face their enemies head-on, some familiar, some new." Close quote. As for the crew, Whedon says, quote, "The biggest challenge is that this is a new day on Serenity. There's no Wash, no Book, and at the outset of our story, there's no Jane either. The dynamic is different, the ship is less bustling. Things took a dark turn, and now they're living in the wake of all that, trying to put things back together. That challenge is also what makes it exciting to write. We're taking these characters into the future, seeing a new chapter of their lives, something that every fan, myself included, has wanted to see for years. As we charge ahead in the stories, I hope that I can get the crew back to the kind of adventures you would expect to see if the show had never ended." Close quote. Rounding out the top 10 at number 6, we've got Miracleman number 2, Komoda, with one magic word, a long-forgotten legend lives again. Freelance reporter Michael Moran always knew he was meant for something more. Now a strange series of events leads him to reclaim his destiny, relive the groundbreaking 80s adventure that captured lightning in a bottle, or experience them for the first time in these digitally restored, fully relettered editions. Issue number 2 includes material originally presented in Warrior number 1 through 5, plus bonus material. At number 7, we've got Batman The Dark Knight number 27. In this conclusion to the storyline Voiceless, the illegal immigrants of Gotham City have been forced into slave labor by the Penguin, and Batman will stop at nothing to shut it all down. At number 8, we've got Justice League Dark number 27, a Forever Evil tie-in. There's now only one final obstacle John Constantine's ragtag team must vanquish, and its name is Blight, continued in Phantom Stranger number 16. At number 9, we've got Cataclysm The Ultimate's Last Stand number 4 of 5. To save a universe, a hero must die. And at number 10, we've got Dead Boy Detectives number 2. From the pages of The Sandman, Neil Gaiman's intrepid dead schoolboys head back to the horror that is St. Hilarion's School, the place where they both were murdered, while trying to protect their new acquaintance, techno-savvy sleuth Crystal, from suffering the same fate at the hands of familiar bullies. Charles and Edwin begin to unravel the mysteries surrounding their own untimely demise. For the best of the rest from DC Comics, we've got Batman and Robin Annual number 2, a year 1 adventure of Dick Grayson as Robin. Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson have shared a distinctive crime-fighting role. Both have played Batman to a young Robin, so when they discover something important that Damian left behind, it leads them to relive one of their first adventures in Gotham City as Batman and Robin. Next, we've got Catwoman number 27, a Gothopia tie-in. Everything's all right in Selena Kyle's world. As the fabled catbird of Gotham City, she fights alongside Batman to keep the city safe. So why does it all feel so wrong? We've also got Damian Son of Batman number 4 of 4. Will the devastating events of Damian Wayne's life push the troubled hero over the edge and send him straight into the abyss? Find out in the epic finale of this futuristic tale of tragedy. Next, we've got Forever Evil A.R.G.U.S number 4 of 6. Steve Trevor's quest to learn where the missing heroes are leads him to an unlikely ally, Killer Frost, and to one of his most deadly enemies, Cheetah. We've also got Superman number 27. The parasite can't be stopped, and he hungers for the power that Lois Lane possesses. Is there anything the Man of Steel can do, or will he lose his best friend? The answer will surprise you. Next, we've got Talon number 15. Flashback to the Talon of the 1920s as we learn about the Court of Owls. And we've got Teen Titans number 27. The Teen Titans must stop the evil Bart Allen of the future, or our timeline is doomed. From Marvel Comics, we've got Avengers Assemble number 23. Inhumanity, an Inhumanity tie-in. While tracking the toxic Dr. Covington, the education of Spider-Girl takes a horrific turn. She must hero under the tutelage of the curmudgeonly Avenger, Wolverine. The Inhuman that the Avengers seek has a unique ability, one that in the wrong hands could change everything. Warren Ellis once again joins Kelly Sue DeConnick in a delightfully demented dance through the Avengers roster. Next, we've got Inhumanity number 2, was previously Inhumanity Medusa, an Inhumanity tie-in. Nick Bradshaw joins the Master of Inhumanity Matt Fraction for a tale of the Inhuman Queen. Medusa's kingdom is destroyed, her king is dead, and her people's population just increased exponentially. Everything is different. How can she possibly deal with it all? We've also got Revolutionary War Knights of Pendragon number 1. Part 3 of Revolutionary War, a corporate deep mining setup unearths an old Myth-Tech base where magical cloning experiments have been taking place. What mysteries or monsters are waiting in Britain's subterranean bones? Featuring fan-favorite Marvel UK characters Di Thomas, Pete Wisdom, and Union Jack. Next, we've got Thor God of Thunder number 18, a tale of young Thor in the age of the Vikings. Here be a dragon, nuff said. And we've got Uncanny Avengers number 16, the main event, Thor vs. Uriel. Feral and vengeful after the death of a teammate, Thor is a mad god out for blood. The heroes of the Earth rally to stop the unimaginable evil the twins have released. In order to stop the twins, the Wasp must do something that will curse her evermore. From Image Comics, we've got Thief of Thieves number 19. Special Agent Cohen has plagued Conrad's every step until now. Out in trades this week, we've got Justice League Dark Volume 3, The Death of Magic trade paperback. Transported to another dimension by the Books of Magic, Tim Hunter and Zatanna awake in a world where magic once ruled until mad scientists forced all magical creatures into exile. And while they explore this strange world, the remaining members of JLD follow them and find that the rules of magic here are very different and very deadly, collecting issues number 14 through 19 of the hit series. Next, we've got Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Angela hardcover premiere edition. Spinning out of the dramatic conclusion of Age of Ultron, dimensions collide and Heaven's most fearsome angel arrives and comes straight for the Guardians. Gamora, one of the galaxy's greatest warriors, holds a deadly secret that could bring down the entire team, and when Gamora battles Angela, the entire universe hangs in the balance. Then the galaxy's most mismatched heroes find themselves at a crossroads when the effects of infinity begin to rise. Can even the mysterious Angela's powers help combat the fallout from Thanos' master plan? And what will it take for Star-Lord to betray the entire Marvel Universe? The biggest blockbuster hit of the year continues as critically acclaimed artists Sarah Pichelli and Francesco Francavilla climb aboard, and comics legend Neil Gaiman joins the team in this one-of-a-kind comic book event, collecting Guardians of the Galaxy number 4 through 8. And we've got Ultimate Comics Spider-Man by Brian Michael Bendis Volume 5 hardcover premiere edition. Bombshell is back, and young heroes are debuting all across the city, including Cloak and Dagger and Ultimate Power Pack. But can Miles continue being Spider-Man after everything that's happened, or will tragedy force him to quit? Cloak and Dagger try to bring him back into the superhero fold, but when Miles comes face to face with the evil of Roxxon, he makes his final decision. Roxxon created Venom, and because of Venom, Miles' mother died. Now Miles will unleash hell, but will even Cloak and Dagger, Bombshell, and Spider-Woman be enough to help him take Roxxon down? The first chapter in the Miles Morales saga ends with a bang as Miles discovers one of the big secrets of his origin, collecting Ultimate Comics Spider-Man number 23 through 28. Okay, so that's just a few of my favorite books out this week. There's still plenty of others available, and I broke out all the Marvel titles this week in their own video, as well as a separate video for all of DC, and even a video with the top independent publishers, and you can find them all on my YouTube channel at he'sgotissues.com. And we'll also have the links up on the leagueofnerds.com, our Facebook page, so be sure to like us there too. And of course, you can follow everything I'm reading on Facebook, Pinterest, Tumblr, or Twitter. You can find the links to everything in the About section at he'sgotissues.com. And a reminder that both He's Got Issues and the League of Nerds are proud members of the Comics Podcast Network. So until next week, I'm John Cooney, and I've got issues.